Stephen Struss is my name. I guess I'm the founder of Tinamba Turf. The family have been residing and operating the property for 117 years now. I'm a fourth generation. About 80 years of it has been dairy farming, and the last 37 years has been the turf farm which we started. It was a 600 acre property, which is about 240 hectares. We haven't quite doubled, but very nearly doubled our land area that we had. We bought out 4 existing neighbours to take us up to around about 1,000 acres of turf these days. Our stewardship of the land is very important to us, very much mindful of looking after the land and maintaining it to its original state when we took it over, 37 years ago. Hugo's probably been more involved in the techniques and, with the fertiliser programs and things. I've only ever had 2 principles. That's supply a good product and service, which probably worked for a lot of years, but this day and age that sort of moves on. You've just got to be a bit more professional with that.
There's a bigger picture of value for the customer. The customers aren't just worried about just the product these days. They're worried about what the company stands for, how they go about their business. They're worried about the bigger picture of our product and what surrounds it, both here on the farm and also out on site as well.
So Tinamba's a unique turf farm compared to anything else in southeast Queensland. We use GCS 900 and Trimble Earthworks. We want to maximise our catchment of the rain at any chance we get. It also gives us the opportunity to catch any potential leaching of fertiliser or chemical. We can catch water over 65% of the farm, which equates back to around about 5 million litres for every millimetre of rain we receive. Tinamba at any one time holds around about 750 megalitres, and we're able to move that water between dams so we can maximise our capacity of storage during flood times, and then we can also make sure that we can move water efficiently from one side of the farm to the other depending on where production is required or where we're focusing our efforts for production. This is a Tinamba washing facility. It does 450,000 litres an hour, or 4.5 million litres in a day of washing. It generates about 2,500 metres of turf every day. This is where we wash all the turf off before it goes onto places like stadiums. It's been responsible for the turf that's gone up onto Eagle Farm, the Townsville turf track. So we wash the dirt off the turf to be able to make sure we maintain the water infiltration rate that the particular stadium or surface has been designed at. 4.5 million litres a day is a huge amount of water, and we can't afford to be wasting any of it. So our system here goes through the concrete drainage area into a swale drain. It then goes through a well and is naturally drained through a wetland through the middle of the property, where we catch 100% of the water again. We pump it back up into our dam and we reuse it all over again. Another way that Tinamba reduces its footprint is implementing new pumping systems like the one behind us. This system here is responsible for 7 centre pivots across the farm. It's able to ramp up the pumps individually one by one as a variable drive capacity. We're able to reduce the network demand and therefore the power that is used here at the farm.
We were the first farm in this area to ever put in a centre pivot irrigator.
The use of centre pivots is a more responsible and efficient use of water. The reason is because they deliver irrigation more uniformly and more efficiently. So you can see up to 85 to 90% uniformity of irrigation, and because it's so even and you're irrigating at such low volumes, you can irrigate to very controllable depths.
So one of the biggest changes that Tinamba's made in the last few years is the way that we're now measuring our inputs into the production turf here at the farm. That was off the back of some trials we did with ICL back in 2022. I'll leave Will to talk a bit about that.
The overarching thing we were trying to achieve out of the trials is, can we produce better colour, better quality turf for Tinamba's customers with reduced inputs? So can we reduce water use, which saves energy, saves costs, but can we also reduce nutrient use? And that was looking at not only enhanced efficiency fertilisers, but using green waste compost to improve infiltration, nutrient use, water use, porosity of the soil, net carbon content of the soil.
The incorporation of organics, natural green waste organics that comes from the local councils in our area, Gold Coast, Brisbane. We incorporate those organics at 100 tonnes per hectare back into the land to increase our carbon levels in the soil, which helps with efficiency of the nutrient and also the irrigation moisture as well.
Tinamba has 250,000 broiler chickens on the farm at any one time, and we're able to reuse that manure out of the sheds, both into the new paddocks, but also into the growing process of the grass as well.
We're moving away from those rapid dissolving products, the synthetics, and moving to a product that's actually 30% organic certified.
ProTurf's really unique in the turf and landscape market, not only in Australia but worldwide, in that it's got a series of innovations by ICL. One such is mini prill controlled release fertiliser, which gives better efficiency of nitrogen over a longer period of time. And then second to that is a unique mineral called polyhalite. And so that comes out of one of ICL's mines, and it's a registered organic product, and it's a combination of potassium, calcium, magnesium and sulphur. So 4 of the big 6 nutrients that turf grass needs in a crystalline mineral structure that's low dissolution. And that's important in turf production, because the key to getting strong, healthy turf is balancing your nutrient use over time through the production cycle. And so a key component was ensuring that we had a fertiliser that enabled us to use less applications and less total volume, but delivered nutrition in the right way over time.
Because of its long life on the ground, our customers are getting the benefit on their projects even after we've delivered the turf and left site.
Well, solar's been great at the chicken farm. We probably think we save about 35 to 40% power bills.
Being 5th generation farmers here at Tinamba, we don't just apply sustainability to our paddocks, we apply it on the road as well and delivering to all sites. We're the only turf farm to boast a full fleet of Euro 6 generation trucks before any government mandates.
We now have what we call a palletless system, which works very, very well. We don't leave any pallets on site. We've got grids on our trucks and steel pallets that go into the machines. You'd imagine with 10 semi-trailers doing 2 loads a day each, that's, 400 pallets a day going off the farm. You couldn't do that, so we've had to have a palletless system, which does work very well now.
Part of the palletless system came about because of the introduction of fire ants into Queensland. So by being palletless, it means that there's no pallets that are leaving the farm, being stacked up and then being returned with potential of contaminants of fire ant nest, queens, worker ants or anything like that. To show the breadth of what Tinamba Turf can actually deliver, behind me here, the stadium's Queensland pad. So this turf here is grown for Suncorp Stadium, the Gabba, People's Choice Stadium down the Gold Coast, as well as Seabus, and it goes as far north as Townsville. So not only does this turf get grown here at Tinamba, but after an event at these stadiums, what happens is the surface is actually removed, brought back to the farm, and we're able to reprocess that surface and give a second life to the soil, the sand and the material that comes back out of these stadiums. We're proud to announce that Tinamba Turf is the newest accredited farm in the Turf 360 program. It includes the best farm practices here. It includes the transport, logistics and the installation out on site. And it also includes the best biosecurity practices here in Queensland. We think that it's our responsibility to make sure that we're not just ticking boxes, but we're actually truly changing our practices for the betterment of our industry and our customers into the future.